Hello guys, this is Pygos here from GHz EU, and today I'm bringing you episode 4 of the Stanley Parable. Let's see, 4:29 and 4:30? Yeah, this is our start.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
We're
missed
going
the
to
memo.
try to take a different path once again in this Stanley Parable episode. I know some people don't really call this a game. In my opinion though, it is a game. Even though you don't
When
do all that
Stanley
much,
came
you
to a
just
set
walk
of two
around
open
and take
doors,
different
he
paths.
entered the door on his left.
I still call it a game. Right, we're going to the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And admire the lounge
Truly a
again?
room
I don't
worth
think
admiring.
so. We've seen
It
this
had really
enough.
been worth the detour, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Take this door? Yeah, why not?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Can't open the door? Why?
Yet there was not a
Tips for
single
not
person
getting
here
fired.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go out to
Okay,
his boss's
talk less.
office, hoping he might find an answer
Yeah,
there.
sounds good to me. We've seen his room before, haven't we? Now we're going down.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
we're going
to his boss's
downstairs.
office.
Let's see.
But Stanley just couldn't
Is a
do
car
it.
here?
He considered the possibility of
anything with
facing
this
his
car?
boss, admitting he had left his
Aw.
post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe I'm crazy
All of my
indeed.
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of
I've got
existence
no
in a single
clue
moment
why
for
I-
no reason at all.
Why there's
None of
no
it
one
made
in
any
this
logical
building.
sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why
Oh,
did doors
shit!
close
Where are my
automatically behind
feet?
him wherever he went?
They're all gone.
And for that matter, these rooms
That
were
is
starting
pretty
to look pretty
creepy.
familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
This is all a dream.
What
I
a
want to
relief
wake up.
Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing
And
buttons.
here we are
I
again.
may as well enjoy this while I'm still
Do
lucid.
we walk circles
So,
now?
he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through
Whoa.
space on a magical star field.
We are
And it
floating.
appeared. It was
What
so
is
much
this?
fun, and Stanley marveled that he'd still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question
awesome.
of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah, go away, voice.
Now the voice
we
was
don't
describing
like you.
itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving
I'm
himself?
so
believing
lost,
that
I
if
can
he's
only walk
asleep, he
around
doesn't have
in
to take
circles.
responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, He knew for certain
Where can I go?
that this was in fact a
I
dream.
really have no clue.
Did the
And
voice
this,
not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment
I just
ago?
keep
How else would the
walking
voice
in
explain all that?
circles.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he
Whee!
could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
Is there something I can do?
This was a dream.
Is there somewhere I can
So
go?
he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin.
Whoa, it's getting all
press of the
hard.
mattress on his back. The fresh air of a world outside this one.
Fresh air.
Let me wake up,
I want to see this.
he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
Just want to push
All
buttons
I want
all
is my
day.
life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I am okay. Yay, I'm back. Where am I?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone!
Whoa, now it's getting scary.
I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my
Holy
voice?
shit!
Who am I?
Ah!
And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Story of a woman named
Mariella
Mariella.
woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered
What
her
happened to
belongings,
me,
and walked
Stan?
to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled
That is
through
me!
town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on
A
the sidewalk.
dead guy.
And although she would soon turn to go call
I
for an
don't know
ambulance,
if this is the
for
last
just a few
episode.
brief
I want to
moments,
bring you guys
she considered
more.
the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
How
Then
can
she
that make
remembered
you
the
feel
meeting She
better?
had scheduled for that day. The very important
You
people
see a man
whose impressions of her would affect
that is
her career,
dead.
and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time
That's
for this.
not better.
So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
She ran away from my body. Oh no! What is this world going to? If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and see you next time.